What's up, everybody? How y'all doing out there tonight? It's your boy Triple Beam. I know y'all might not want to hear this. A lot of people don't like to hear stuff, but I'm gonna preach to y'all right now. Y'all listen. Everybody in the church ain't saved. Everybody in the church ain't saved. Everybody in the church ain't saved. The blind lead the blind around. Everybody in the church ain't saved. Everybody in the church ain't saved. Everybody in the church ain't saved. You kept the blind leading the blind around. Blind followers of blind leaders can't preach to me, my wife, or my son neither. False worshipers, we true believers. Got the truth wrapped tight so you can't deceive us. The world is an abomination, dog. All these denominations and every one of them false. You talking to a man whose eyes is open. I got a couple books that ain't scared to open. When they see me coming round, they get shook. You wanna hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. That's so true, man, that's so true. They spread lies and the word done found you. And Jesus Christ can't save you. Most of these Christians playing church and they ain't saved, bro. You might ask the question, how do I know that's true? Because they full of lies and can't accept the truth. Everybody in the church ain't saved. Everybody in the church ain't saved. Everybody in the church ain't saved. The blind lead the blind around. Everybody in the church ain't saved. Everybody in the church ain't saved. Everybody in the church ain't saved. You got the blind leading the blind around. And they don't care about saving lives, just that stinking tide and keeping the whole church alive. They keep the people dumb down and ignorant. Don't know our Father's name and tell me that they haven't sinned. Nah, preacher, you could miss me. Need to go back and do some study, learn your history. What I'm trying to show you is a mystery that you could never see unless you wanna see. False teachers stand before you reading scripted lines. It ain't the truth unless it can stand the test of time. So what that leave us? Held us captive, seized us. 500 years ago, nobody saying Jesus. Many are called, but only few chosen. Everybody talking about heaven ain't going. And you might ask the question, how do I know that's true? Cause they full of lies and can't accept the truth. Everybody in the church ain't saved. Everybody in the church ain't saved. Everybody in the church ain't saved. The blind lead the blind around. Everybody in the church ain't saved. Everybody in the church ain't saved. Everybody in the church ain't saved. You got the blind leading the blind around.
I mean, Jesus, none of them ain't got the total truth. Because ain't none of them saved. You better hear me. You think Tony Smith would say that man ain't saved? Do you think Geno Jennings is saved? No, he ain't saved. Do you think anybody in this church is saved? Ain't nobody in none of these Christian churches. Ain't none of these folks saved. None of them. You can't, let me tell you something, you are not going to get by the scriptures. Listen to verse 3, he said, neither is there salvation in any other. Hear that? You better hear me. And you good Christians ain't going to tell me you say, ain't none of y'all saved. Let me say it again to you, Geno Jennings, Tony Smith, you ain't saved and ain't nothing in your church is saved. Ain't nobody in there saved. All you Baptists, Methodists, Pentecostals, Apostolics, ain't none of y'all saved. Not one of you. Oh, my preacher said your preacher ain't saved. None of you got salvation. Not one of you. Why do you think, oh, help me, Most High. Why do you think in Matthew he said 7:21? In that day when you gonna come to him and he's gonna say, go away from me, I know you not, you workers of iniquity. He don't know you. The revelation of his name is coming to you and you showing the hypocrites that you are. You reject his name and then you gonna stand up before the world and try to tell folks you saved. Ain't none of y'all saved. He said, listen, neither is there salvation in any other. If you, let me tell you something, you baptizing and you bringing people into any other name than the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, you are not saved. I don't care who you are. There ain't but one name given under heaven where a man might be saved. There ain't no no other name. You hypocrites have made up your false names, and you're trying to tell the world that you can come up with your own names and get salvation to people. Every one of you preachers is a liar, and the truth ain't in you. Every one of you. False preachers, false messengers. He said, neither is there salvation in any other. He said, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. Are you listening to me? It's cut and dry. He said, ain't no other name. So you can't take his name and change Yahushua to Yeshua or Yeshu or Jesus or Jesus or any other thing. And talk about this, how we say in our language. Let me tell you something. You are supposed, let me tell you something, that no man has the authority. No. You know how, let me tell you what gets me, these people. They always tell me what they did. Somebody like Tony Smith is so stupid. This stuff is ignorant. But he just speaks for all these other false prophets that he's competing with for turf. Let me say something to you. They all say they. Who is they? I'm sick of all this garbage. Who is they? They always talk about they. They who? Who? What man has been given authority by the scriptures to take the Father's name or the Son's name and translate it into another language and call it by a different pronunciation? Name some scripture that gives a man authority to do that. There ain't none. I'm calling you today. But let me tell you something, in eternity, you're gonna face the King. And when you face him, he's gonna have eyes like fire. You gotta let the ruach roll now. When you, all you preachers, when you stand before the King on Judgment Day and you look into his eyes will be like fire. You better hear me. And all of you go Christians that have supported these false prophets with your money and your time, you did the work of the hands of the beast. His number is in your hands. All of you are going to stand before him and his eyes will look at you as fire. You better hear me. The fire is coming. He said, neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name given under heaven among men where we must be saved. And that name is Yahushua. And he is Hamashiach, the Messiah, as they say.